Today, March 21st, 2018, marks the centennial anniversary of the Kaiserschlacht campaign. The German Spring Offensive would mark the end of the horrible stalemate along the Western Front and transition the war into more mobile warfare similar to what is used today. With the October Revolution effectively marking Russia's involvement in the First World War to an end, this freed up a lot of soldiers for Germany. And with the Americans soon to arrive in full force, now was the time for Germany to make a last-ditch attempt to end the war once and for all. So General Ludendorff began to launch Operation Michael, the first of many operations of the Kaiserschlacht. This would be Germany's largest offensive in the entire war, but this one was to be a little different. One of the major game changers of the entire offensive was the change-up in tactics. Learning from failures on the Eastern Front, Germany would learn tactics from the Brusilov Offensive and take it up a notch for their Spring Offensive over in the West. Brusilov's tactics were to attack weak points in the enemy lines hard and fast. Even with Russia's limited supplies, they were almost able to single-handedly demolish Austria-Hungary along the Eastern Front. If you want more information on the Brusilov Offensive, I'll leave a link down below to a video I covered on it last year if you're interested. Now, imagine if Germany, with new weaponry like the MP-18 and the A-7V heavy tank, could do along the Western Front. The hope was to end the already weakened Allies and eliminate the war of attrition. Militarily, the Allies were weak. Drained from the fruitless offensives like the Somme and Passchendaele, the Entente couldn't afford another mass loss of life. It was clear people were getting tired of the war. Some examples of this would be the large number of mutinies for France, and not to mention, British troops were pretty much given orders to maintain their ground, as another Allied offensive would do more harm than good. Especially with the Americans arriving to support soon, it would be silly to make any large attacks and potentially having the outcome similar to that of the bloodiest battles of the war. Realizing this, Germany would use this to their advantage and attack the Allies while they were at their weakest. When Operation Michael began, it was the British who took the major damage at first. Completely surprised, several divisions like the Irish 16th, 36th, and 66th were pretty much annihilated. The German stormtroopers came first, knocking out important objectives, followed by waves of infantry to clean up the rest. The tactics were seamless and effective, and devastated the Allies. The German offensive would then begin to danger the city of Amiens, which housed the vital railroad for the Allies, bringing supplies and whatnot. If Amiens were to fall, the outcome of the war would have been drastically different. But things started to go south with General Ludendorff's plans. The lack of munitions and food slowed down the progress of the German offensive, along with increasing resistance from the Allies, specifically Australian troops. The second phase of the Kaiserschlacht, named Operation Georgette, was under scrutiny. General Ludendorff was debating on whether or not to call it quits with the success of the first operation or try to repeat it with this second push. But the plans went through anyway, launching in French Flanders on April 9th. But despite the huge losses for the Allies, they managed to hold out against the German onslaught and maintain their ground. The entirety of the offensive was a major loss of life for all sides. Britain lost 236,000 men, the French 92,000, and Germany with 348,000 men lost. The Kaiserschlacht in the end failed, but the tactics used would not die in World War I. The tactics were used to good effect in the Second World War, and you may know of it as Blitzkrieg. Anyways, that about wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a comment down below. And as always, it's been BloodHound, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.